Hello and welcome to Scarytown, the Goosebumps review show. Today we're going to be reviewing the Horror at Camp Jellyjam. So the Horror at Camp Jellyjam is about a brother and sister who were on a family vacation and they end up in this weird camp, summer camp, that's all about competitive sports, and the counselors force everyone to be the best. But what does that mean, and why is everyone so happy about playing sports? So we're gonna get into what I like about this. There's quite a bit that I did like. I chose this book just kind of randomly. It was this one that I always looked at the cover, and I'm sure you agree. Um, just the cover is just so amazing. This creepy looking camp counselor and these like tight shorts that I've like brought up, and just that smile and just like it's real creepy. It's this Joker smile, and I was just real curious to know whether or not it's as good as everyone hyped it out to be. Because I remember looking at this forum and they're like, what Goosebumps books do you remember being like really good? And this one kind of popped into my mind, or popped into my attention at the time. So, and I will say, I had the twist ending spoiled for me, so that that unfortunately affects my opinion about the book. But I do like just the initial setup for the kids going into the camp. Uh, they're on this vacation trip towards whatever. Like the parents don't even know exactly where they're going, and then I have like this trailer attached to the back of their car. I can't remember if it was a truck or a car or whatever. But the kids want to go back there in the trailer just to kind of horse around, and they end up the trailer ends up getting unhitched from the car and just tumbles its way into the woods, and it's like they're in real danger, like they could have died in the accident. But of course it's a Goosebumps book, so the kids never die. I found it fairly enjoyable in the sense that I've read a couple of other Goosebumps books where they're all summer camps, and this one I would say maybe not quite in the league of Welcome to Camp Nightmare, because that one's like really solid. But this one's just really bizarre. Like I probably would have enjoyed it more if I didn't know the twist at the end. But it's definitely out there. This is the concept of it, and if I didn't know the twist, I would have been really in suspense of like what is really going on, because the kids are not really forced, but they're kind of sort of like brainwashed into, because the phrase being the best is kind of repeated ad nauseum by the counselors to the kids, and then it gets in their head and like we have to be the best, and the whole thing is you have to win the these games. Like you have to win the swim race, you have to win this baseball game, this arm wrestling competition. I think there was no, could be wrong, but anyways, you have to win these sports events in order to get a Camp Jellyjam golden coin, and it has like this cartoon picture of the Jellyjam character, and it looks really goofy. Uh, but you have to get 5 of them, I believe, in order to be like in the winners circle, or there's like this big celebration. Whoever gets the 5 ones, it gets like this grand prize, and this small little parade, and everyone wants to be it because like you got to be the best. So I really like that. That's really cool. And I also like how the counselors are also kind of brainwashed too, uh, very early on you learn that too, because the first counselor they meet is also the one that's most prominent in the story. He's called Buddy. Of course, he's called Buddy. What else would he be called? And the one of the kids, I think it's Wendy. Wendy's the main character, and she asks him like, "Where are you from?" And then he kind of has like this blank look on his face, and then he starts like seriously thinking like, it's weird. Like I don't even remember. It's like, is that weird that I don't remember where I'm from? And then they just kind of pass it off like, it's fine. Like maybe he's just under stress or whatever, and people forget stuff all the time. But it definitely gets you thinking like, things are not what they appear to be. Definitely. And the counselors, especially Buddy, try to get all the kids to keep on getting into sports and not like relaxing or doing anything else but being in the sports. So that's very odd. So, but yeah. So we're gonna get into my dislikes. So what I didn't like about the story is, unfortunately, there is no real sense of danger. Um, even knowing what the twist is, even when once that reveal, the big reveal happens with what is really going on with Camp Jellyjam, and even once that happens, is I never really felt like the kids were in any real sense of danger. Maybe like a little bit, like a little bit that they might be in danger, but it's like not really. So because the bulk of the story is trying to figure out what's going on, and just the main character getting into sports, but then eventually, as Wendy is kind of hot on the trail of figuring out what the mystery is, she stops engaging in sports. Well, like she kind of still does, but like she doesn't put any real effort into it. So it's kind of like she's kind of going through the motions until she can figure out what's going on. But like nobody is in any real sense of danger, and that is very odd for a Goosebumps book, because that's kind of like the point of a horror story, is that there's some kind of threat, whether it's physical or otherworldly, that is trying to hurt the main characters in some way, that they're in some kind of sense of danger, and until like the big reveal of what's really going on in Camp Jellyjam, there's absolutely, like, the kids are like in no danger really, unless like they get caught because they're sneaking around at night in curfew, but then they just get in trouble or whatever. So that's like whatever. So I, even knowing what the reveal was, like I don't think they were in any trouble. Like they'd probably just get reprimanded, like, oh, just we're gonna have to force you to go play even more sports than you were usually. So so there's that, and really trying to tiptoe around eggshells with the reveal, because I want to spoil it, because I will say that the book really centers on the reveal being like shocking and just like mind blowing, just like what, how, because if you knew what the reveal is while reading it, it's kind of, there's no real build up to it, like, because you already know what's going to happen, and it's just, you're just kind of waiting for it to happen, and it's and knowing specifically what the reveal is, it's really goofy. It's not scary at all. It's just, it's kind of hilarious. What happens at the end, like what they find that is behind everything, and it's just, it's ridiculous. Um, Maybe not quite as ridiculous as the last summer camp Goosebumps book I read was Welcome to Camp Slither, and that was like really out there. Uh, Maybe they're kind of tied, but it's, yeah. So, in closing, the Horror at Camp Jellyjam, like I said before, like I knew what the ending was, the twist. It was always spoiled for me. But even knowing that, the story really hinges on that fact. But I feel like it's a fairly enjoyable Goosebumps book, as far as being one of the classic Goosebumps series, and it's the premise is pretty out there, but um, it's it's not that great actually. It's it's pretty cool, like the idea behind it, but it's like I said before, it's kind of ruined by there's no real sense of danger with the kids. Um, and some of the other summer camp Goosebumps books, there was always something that sinister lurking around that might hurt the kids, and the kids were always scared of something. And in this, they're not really scared. It feels less like a horror story and more of like a mystery, like because they want to figure out what's really going on. And once they find out what it is, it's pretty silly. So, uh, not a great Goosebumps book story, but a fun mystery and a pretty hilarious twist. So that's what I thought about the horror at Camp Jellyjam, and it's funny because there is really no horror in this book. It should have been like the mystery of Camp Jellyjam, or just call it Camp Jellyjam or whatever. But that would sound as good as the horror at Camp Jellyjam. Anyways, tell me what you guys thought about this book. If you've already read it, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Whether or not you liked it for other reasons, or you didn't like it. Anyways, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.